This is the American M1A1 HC Click-Bait, sitting at a battle rating of 12.0. As a top-tier staple for one of War Thunder's big three, the HC packs incredible mobility, devastating firepower, reliable armor, and a reload speed that easily dunks on every other NATO tank at the BR. But then you take a look at that massive, giant neck of yours, a walking, breathing shot trap waiting to be hit. So put your credit card down for a second, and before you decide to contribute to Gaijin's next retirement fund, why not spend a few minutes watching this video first? Sitting as America's top-tier premium, the M1A1 HC boasts some seriously impressive mobility. Powered by the AGT 1500 gas turbine, putting out 1,500 horsepower, paired with a solid transmission. This bad boy hits nearly 70 kilometers per h forward, and a crisp 40 kilometers per h in reverse, with Excel to match. This gives the Abrams a massive positioning edge around ridgelines and urban environments. Plus, thanks to that whisper-quiet turbine sound, you can easily pull off some hilarious sneaky flanks without anyone noticing. Next up, let's talk about its firepower. At BR 12.0, that M829A2 dart is an absolute menace. Packing 628 millimeters of penetration, it's pushing right up against top-tier dart performance, backed by excellent velocity and ridiculous post-pen damage. As long as you have a decent angle, you don't even need surgical precision. Just point, click, and watch them head straight back to the hangar a second later. Then comes the reload speed. With an ace crew, the M1A1 HC reloads in a blistering 5.0 seconds flat, and even an expert crew gets it down to 5.3 seconds. That gives you a massive advantage during engagement windows. Sometimes that single second of leeway is all it takes to decide who goes back to the hangar. But what really sets it apart is how it handles the classic NATO trade-off. Most other NATO tanks at this rank struggle to balance top-tier pen with a hyper-fast reload. Take the Leopard 2A4M or the Challenger 3TD at the same BR, for example. Even with an ace crew, their reload caps out at 6.0 seconds. To make matters worse, vehicles like the 2A4M are stuck using the KEW shell with only 581 millimeters of penetration. Most NATO MBTs are forced to sacrifice reload speed for better pen, or in some cases, they end up with neither. The M1A1 HC, on the other hand, gives you the best of both worlds. Now, let's talk protection, which is huge for beginners, or really anyone relying on a safety net to keep their skill floor afloat. Unfortunately, the M1A1 HC isn't exactly an armored bunker. Aside from the usual weak spots you find on most tanks, only its upper front plate and gun cheeks are truly solid, especially those thick turret cheeks. But due to the classic Abrams hull design, there's an unmistakably huge gap between the turret and the hull, which severely hurts its survivability. If luck isn't on your side, and a shell catches your driver's viewport or slips into that giant neck gap, you're going straight back to the main menu. Luckily, having a four-man crew can occasionally pull off some unexpected miracle survivability. Another feature you shouldn't sleep on, even if most NATO tanks share it, is that sweet 10 degrees of gun depression, giving the M1 exceptional hill cresting ability. Those ultra-tough turret cheeks make hull-down plays ridiculously deadly. Even if your gun barrel or breech gets taken out and deprives you of counterfiring, your stellar mobility lets you slide back into safety in no time. Whether you're hard-scoping over a ridge or doing quick shoulder peeks, the Abrams handles it with ease. First off, the M1A1 HC's turret traverse speed is fantastic, which is huge during sudden CQC encounters or when you're getting swarmed from multiple angles. With an 8's crew, you're looking at a sleek 40 degrees per second horizontally and 24 degrees vertically. In fact, even with a completely stock crew, its response time is already right up there with the best-case scenario of our star vehicle from last episode, the Type 90B. Now that we've covered the main highlights, it's time to get into the most criticized aspects of this tank, along with a few extra details worth noting. The first major caveat is that, like most NATO MBTs, the M1 relies on a human loader, which is why you have a four-man crew in the first place. While that fourth crew member certainly helps with survivability, it comes with a brutal catch. If your loader gets knocked out in a fight, your reload speed takes a massive hit, jumping straight from a crisp 5 seconds to a painful 10 seconds. Even after the commander hops into the loader's seat, you're still stuck at around 6.5 seconds until you manage to pull back to a captured point and replenish your crew. Another Another downright infuriating flaw stems directly from that massive neck gap I mentioned earlier. The Abrams houses a ridiculously oversized turret basket inside the hull. If an enemy dart punches through your already flimsy side armor, even if you somehow survive the initial shot, your turret drive is guaranteed to be completely pulverized. That giant turret basket turns any side hit into a permanent handicap, locking your gun in place and leaving you completely helpless right when you need to turn and fight back the most. And most of the time, the culprit behind this nightmare is none other than the BMPT sitting right next door. At close to medium range, its 30mm APDs can easily chew right through that massive neck gap. Even if you somehow survive the onslaught, your turret drive and barrel will be completely shredded, leaving you no better than a sitting duck. Then comes a crucial point, the optics. In standard daylight scope mode, the M1 zoom levels feel really nice and comfortable to use. But the moment you turn on the thermal sight, yeah, welcome back to Gen 1 thermal hell. Like all first-generation thermals in War Thunder, long-range targets instantly turn into a blurry, pixelated blob, making it a pain to spot anything in the distance. And there's a small detail you might barely notice, and honestly, it feels practically useless 99% of the time, but hey, give Gaijin credit for modeling it anyway. I'm talking about the electro-optical soft-kill APS on top of the turret. The catch is that the pool of missiles it can actually jam in War Thunder is laughably small, making it almost impossible to get any real value out of it. Lastly, we have a genuinely life-saving feature, the blowout panels located right next to the turret ammo rack. This is a massive plus, especially on a tank with a turret as huge as the M1. Normally, a direct hit to the ammo rack means instant cook-off and a fast trip back to the garage. But these blowout panels step in to save the day, though it will leave you looking absolutely fired up. And yes, I mean that completely literally. Now, there is a very bizarre mechanic, or let's be honest, probably just Gaijin spaghetti code that can actually save your life in a pinch. Normally, when your ammo rack catches fire and cooks off, it wipes out all your stowed rounds and magically clears the shell already loaded in your gun breech. Don't ask me how the loader manages to reach into the firing chamber and yank out a round while surrounded by a 2,000-degree inferno. But that's War Thunder physics for you. The real trick, though, happens if you're carrying a mixed loadout like Heat FS or others. After the cook-off, the game automatically grabs whatever shell is sitting in your rightmost ammo slot and loads it straight into the gun. Gaijin has tried to patch this issue before, and while it's not as reliable as it used to be, it's still totally reproducible. So my advice? Always keep a single M829 parked in that rightmost slot. You never know when that magically loaded extra shell will clutch the game for you. To wrap it all up, the M1A1 HC is an exceptionally comfy tank to grind with. While it might not have the most forgiving safety net for beginners, finding a premium grinder that pairs such a sharp spear with a dependable shield is no small feat. And look, I know it feels a little dirty to recommend a top-tier pack premium, but if you're suffering through the US ground tree, the HC is easily one of your best options. It's no exaggeration to say that even bumped up to BR 12.7, it remains a fantastic combatant. Honestly, it might just have the highest skill ceiling of any pack premium MBT in the game right now. Alright, if you're still dead set on buying it, I'll turn a blind eye this once and watch you donate your hard-earned cash to Gaijin. But honestly, I'd much rather you hit that subscribe button so I can stop you from making any more foolish financial decisions down the line. Stay tuned, because I've got even more exciting stuff coming up in the next episode.